So this is my combination boiler.
Gordon is into his green technology like solar power, but he says he's not ready to give up his gas boiler just yet. He also happens to have been a plumber for 25 years.
These are the go-to boiler for millions of people, aren't they?
Yeah.
And the government's plan was to phase these out. What was the problem with that and the timescale, do you think?
I think that the problem that they've always had is that it was an unrealistic target, and it sounds great, but it's impractical.
Getting the UK to net zero will require huge changes to how we all live. The Prime Minister says households who'll struggle to make the switch will be exempt from replacing boilers for heat pumps. That's a crucial sweetener for a fifth of households who, with this change, won't need expensive upgrades. Ultimately, international agreements on climate change were always perhaps going to be balanced with the needs of real people and what they can actually afford. The Prime Minister now calculating that going too fast could serve to alienate struggling voters in constituencies like this one. There are now more than 800,000 electric cars in Britain. Sales have boomed since the government committed to ban the sale of petrol and diesel cars by 2030. It looks like motorists will now have another 5 years to hit that expensive target.
Personally, I believe it does need to be pushed further into the future, so the government have got time to put the infrastructure into place, because there isn't enough fast chargers when people are out on the road on a daily basis.
This sort of policy doesn't surprise me, and I feel like it's definitely done as a vote winner rather than done with good conscience, and it's quite symptomatic of constantly changing cabinet and changing prime ministers.
This surprise announcement by the government is certainly a major policy U-turn, but in the eyes of voters, it could recharge the government's flagging popularity. Nick Martin, Sky News, Leeds.